Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Mike Benitez, and today this will be the first episode of Ship Bios. I'll be talking about ships and what happened to these ships. Now today I'll be talking about the first episode will not be about the Titanic, but of the RMS Lusitania. Lusitania was one of the fastest liners of the ocean. She was built. I'll just go by step. So let's get on with the bio of Lusitania. Lusitania and her sister Mauretania were commissioned by Cunard, which is the longest-serving cruise line ever still standing, to accommodate to pass with the they were constructed so to compete with the Nordischer Lloyd and Hamburg America line. And they were supposed to go against the ships Kaiser Wilhelm der Grosse and Kaiser Wilhelm II and Kron Prince Wilhelm. These ships were built to be fast and would break the speed record, which Lusitania would later do on her maiden voyage. Lusitania, Mauretania, and later their other sister, Aquitania, were built for speed and luxury. And this made no exception, because this ship was everything in luxury. They had a music room, a veranda cafe, and a first-class dining saloon capped with an elegant dome. They also had first-class smoking rooms and first-class reading and writing rooms. Lusitania's launch was on June 7th of 1906 on the Clydebank River, I think. Saying it wrong in the comments below if you think I'm wrong. Now, the two Mauretania and Lusitania were built at two different shipyards. Who will be the fastest to be built? And of course, it was Lusitania. She was the largest ship in the world, only to be contrasted by Mauretania a couple months later. But Lusitania and Mauretania will really be passed by speed and luxury by the RMS Olympic class. I said class, which consists of the RMS Olympic, the infamous RMS Titanic, and HMHS Returning, which never ceased passenger service and only became a hospital ship. This picture, you can see Lusitania in the background and Olympic. Lusitania, commanded by Commodore James Waite, left Liverpool on her main voyage, and on Saturday, 7 September 1907, and arrived in New York at about let me see here. I'm trying to look at this on Sunday. No, wait, what? Yeah, it was Sunday, I guess. I think. Okay, yep. And it was on her return voyage from New York to Liverpool that she broke the world speed record in both directions. Here is a majestic picture of the Lusitania during her maiden voyage. Also, you can see the pictures that the Wright brothers, the Wright flyer, is there. You can't see it, but the Lusitania is there along with the Wright brother. But along with that, let's get on with the actual story of the sinking of the Lusitania. The captain at the time was Captain William Thomas Turner, which was supposed to be Captain Daniel Dow. Now, on the day that the Lusitania set sail from New York, May 1st, there was a paper from the German Admiralty listing that all ships would not are targets at war. This was in 1915. Now, the notice says, travelers intending to embark on the Atlantic voyage are reminded that a state of war crisis exists between Germany and her allies and Great Britain and her allies. That the zone of war includes the waters adjacent to the British Isles. That is accordance with formal notice given by the Imperial German government. Vessels flying the flag of Great Britain or any of our allies are liable to destruction in those waters, and that travelers sailing in the waters on all ships of Great Britain or her allies do so at their own risks. This took place on her 202nd voyage of the Lusitania. Now, there was a U-boat, a German submarine, the SS, I guess you would call it SS U-boat U-20, And what would happen next would become theoretically the reason that we went to war in World War I. On May 7th, 1915, Lusitania was struck by a torpedo by U-20. 30 seconds later, there was a second, much larger explosion. Within minutes, the ship began to lean to starboard, which was her right side. Lifeboats were smashed everywhere. People screaming. Many people, including the boilers, died below deck because of rushing water. It's unknown if any of the men in the boiler room survived the tragedy. It is unknown what caused the sinking, by the second explosion. But whatever happened, it did. And 1,198 people aboard the ship died, leaving 761 survivors. People in the British Admiralty expected no really concern for Lusitania before her sinking, but earlier that day, on May 7th, she was ordered for a zigzag pattern, which for some reason never happened. The ship sank in a horrible time of 18 minutes, leaving only 6 lifeboats ever launched on the ship. Captain Turner survived the disaster, but at the inquiry was questioned by F.E. Smith, who was also in charge of the inquiries of the Empress of Ireland disaster and the Titanic disaster. What happened after? America went to war with Britain against Germany and won in 1918. Even though it is said that Britain used Lusitania as a propaganda, and it said that munitions were on board the ship when she went down. Lusitania, after few years, I think it was the same year, yeah. In the same year of the Lusitania, oh wait, no, never mind. In 4 years, the sinking of Lusitania was a cartoon made about the sinking. But the most famous documentary is probably Sinking of Lusitania, Terror at Sea in 2007. No actual thriller film like Titanic has ever been made about Lusitania, but one of her propellers is on display in Liverpool, near the site where she went down. Today, the wreck of Lusitania lays in 300 feet of water and is badly destroyed. Hopefully, the Lusitania will be remembered, and a movie like Titanic and Britannic will possibly be made of her. This is Mike Benitez signing out on the first episode of Ship Bios. Thank you very much for hearing the story of the infamous Lusitania.